What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy, Saint Kthulhu, back again with another video, and all I gotta say is, boy, do I got a treat for you. This game I got put on recently. I ain't even gonna cap and say that I've been on this since day one. I got put on recently by one of my favorite YouTubers, hands down, SuperButterBuns and ValkyrieAurora. They have such great content, and I'm gonna leave their channels in the description down below, linking to the video about Lost Soul Aside. So, as I said, the game is called Lost Soul Aside, and the reason I am so hyped about this game, and I am just juiced and geeking out about it, is because this game actually started off as an indie project, and it started off as a demo back in 2016 by one man. He goes by the name of Bing Yang, and he cites his inspiration as Square Enix's Final Fantasy 15. He's an avid fan of ARPG games. So in 2 years, he ended up dropping this trailer, which shows everything that he managed to accomplish. All the beautiful world aesthetics, the flashy action happening, everything was done by him. So when he dropped the trailer, he ended up getting contacted by a couple of different companies, basically saying, hey man, this game looks absolutely dope, and you being one person making this dope ass shit, how about we, help you out, help you drop this game. He ended up settling for a team that was backed by Sony. It's called the China Hero Project. With a name like that, I'd be goddamned if they drop some fucking bullshit. So you can miss me with that. And it actually is still a small team. It went from one man to a 10-man team. Granted, yes, now you got more heads and more people to actually help you out with shit, but still, a 10-man team for a game that looks this great is just not that big. So for them to accomplish so much in such little time, I am so ready for it to drop already. A lot of people have said this, like, Final Fantasy 15 meets Devil May Cry, or like Ninja Gaiden, Nier Automata, basically like the hack and slash features of it with the Final Fantasy 15 aesthetic, and I can wholeheartedly agree. Not to say that like the main character does, but doesn't really look like Noctis. Like my boy, he out here flexing, and he just looks so good, not to mention how beautiful the world is and how flashy the fighting is. Like, this man is out here doing flips and tricks while leaving trails of light behind him as he's slashing motherfuckers down. You can't tell me this doesn't just please your eyes. This is video game porn for your eye sockets. You can't tell me that's not the case. And the thing about it is, so when I play games like these, a lot of the time I like to play it on the normal difficulty just to kind of like get the story out of the way, just so I don't end up screwing myself over in the long run. And then after I'm done with the first playthrough, I'll loop back to it, turn it up to the hardest difficulty, and I'll play it because I just want to hurt myself. I enjoy the pain and the rewardingness of having to wait hours to beat one boss, taking you double the time it took you to beat it on normal just to beat the game, only for you to have that sense of achievement of, my nigga, I did it, I am a video game god, hop off my nuts. And that's the thing about this game, is that it's accessible for the casuals, so if you don't really care about being top tier and having to do the super extra dodges and flips and your health being super low and shit, it's there for you. But also, if you are like me and you enjoy just getting beat down, put down, and made to feel like you are never gonna pass this boss or this level, this is also one of those games for you. And another reason in which why I am so happy about this coming into fruition is because he is actually a avid fan of ARPGs and all this, and he said in an interview that he wants to make a game that he would like to play, and I can respect that so much. There has been no release date yet, so I'm not going to jump to conclusions, but I can hope that it's going to be dropped very soon. I just want it to be out already. But having it from the aspect of somebody who actually plays the games and enjoys them, as opposed to a giant company that knows they have a formula that's gonna work, something that they've been releasing for years and years at a time, and it's just been booming every single time, so they don't really have to change that much about it. I'm so hyped for a game that's just starting up from scratch and going off of his dream, basically. He's taking a whole bunch of different aspects from different games, and he's just sewing them together to make one beautiful project. The aesthetic is so fantastic. You can look and just get lost into the background while beating the shit out of somebody, and that's what had me so hyped about Final Fantasy 15. When I actually played Final Fantasy 15 and I beat it, I was so juiced just because of how everything looked, and you could get lost in the world, let alone getting lost and racking up those enormous combos and switching from characters and whatnot. And from what I've seen so far, it seems like you have a different set of weapons that you can use and switch to just go and beat people down. So you can pull off some pretty crazy combos in what it seems like. And I think the best way that I could put it is in the words of ValkyrieAurora when she said, "This is literally a dream project in the making," which is because that the concept or the thought of us making a video game that we would want to play is a dream that most of us people who enjoy video games to the fullest extent have probably had once or twice. And for him to be able to do this and make it, it's a dream come true. And to have him make this in 2 years and have an actual larger company come back him up and help him out to make his dream come true, with him being at the head making something that he wants to play and something that he can enjoy, I cannot respect anything more than that, bro. And all I can say is just look at that. Do you see how he's out here spinning and flexing, dropping the heat on him? Oh my god, I cannot wait for this game to come out. And when they set a pre-order date for this, you best believe I'm about to be that nigga dropping hella money on this. If there is like $120, $150 exclusive special pack that they're dropping, guess what? I'm gonna buy it. And with me saying all this and me being this hyped about this situation, I do have to say, I will say this up front so you don't feel like I've duped or deceived you. It is still an indie project. As good and as beautiful as it seems, it is not a AAA project at all. So it's probably not gonna be on the scale of Final Fantasy 15. We can have our hopes, we can have our dreams, but just when it comes down to reality, I don't think it's going to be like Final Fantasy 15 if that's what you're shooting for. I feel like it's going to be a shorter game. The story, he wants to make it an in-depth story, something that you can enjoy and I guess replay. So I guess the story is going to be good. There's no way for me to tell. Like, I haven't seen much about this game yet. So it's going to be a shorter story, a shorter game in general, and I feel like the exploration is not going to be too wide. It's going to be a pretty linear game. You're not going to have that much to do. But these are just speculations off me. Like, when the game drops, I could be 100% wrong, and this shit could be bigger than Final Fantasy 15. But from what I've seen so far and what I think, I don't think that's going to be the case. But for what it is, for it being an indie title being started by one man who later had the help of a company that's still relatively small compared to all these larger companies, making something that looks this good and plays that smoothly, and people who have tested out the alpha have said that it runs very smooth. The only thing, I think it was one person or a couple of people that said like the control scheme is a little janky, but I feel like I could get over that. Just me personally, I could get over a janky control scheme, and just being able to enjoy the aesthetic while also being able to beat the shit out of ginormous monsters like this, and having the ability to rack together some outrageous combos and setting the difficulty up to the maximum just makes me want to fucking bust a nut. I got hella nuts to bust, my guy, and I'm just ready. I'm so ready for this game to drop, and I'm so ready to drop so much money. And I really do hope they drop like a pre-order pack where they give you like an exclusive steelbook or a figurine, because I want to spend the money to have something that's a collectible from this franchise. And hopefully, if we get enough people to support it and enough people to love it as much as I feel like I'm gonna love it, who knows what's gonna happen next. He could start a whole different project that's kind of something related to this, or he can come up with a sequel. It's all just depends on how beautifully it is received on release. So I'm gonna leave his YouTube and his Twitter in the links down below for everybody just kind of stay updated with him and make sure that you know when this is gonna drop, so you can pre-order it, you can buy it, you can get ready to experience the beauty that is Lost Soul Aside. And not to mention, I will also leave ValkyrieAurora's and SuperButterBuns' YouTube videos in the description, because I highly recommend you guys go check them out. Like I said, they're amazing content creators, and they're just beautiful people in general. And I hope with this video I have now convinced everybody that has watched all this way through to get ready to experience the hype and the wonder that is Lost Soul Aside. And thank you everybody for watching. I really appreciate y'all stopping by and hopefully supporting the game. And as I say, and as I always say, vote Kthulhu for president. 2020 is our year, and why would you vote for the lesser evil?